Get ready to hear the best evidence they've got and how to refute it.
There's actually been studies and stuff that have been shown where if you look on a smaller scale, such as bacteria, because they have generations pass so much faster than us, because they are constantly replicating and reproducing, they actually have significant changes that we can see.
So do I. You go back 40 years, 50 years, I didn't look like this.
Right.
It's a significant change. So the bacteria, did it become something else? Did it evolve into an animal or something? Or did it remain bacteria?
Okay, so I mean, this one was labeled something about being gay or whatever. Like, he disagreed with Jesus about homosexuality is the name of this. But so I guess we're on evolution right out the gate. But and we got a special guest today, so we're gonna get into it. I'm Brantley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. With that. So today we got Helen, or HellsBells. How you doing, Helen?
Good. How you doing, my friend?
Good. Yeah, I was gonna say like like a guest, but it's just just a friend of the show that hangs out.
It's just us. It's our usual shenanigans.
Right. That's it. Yeah. Helen and I were on like a show. How long were we on Left at the Valley together? It was about
I think almost a year.
Right? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Because we met during the plague times.
Right. Okay.
And then over the past couple, I think we've known each other for 3 years. And for the past 2 years we've just been buds. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah. Not as much. Yeah, we used to every Sunday.
And then occasionally I invade your podcast. So and then you usually need to come on RFRX and do some stuff on Skeptic Haven, and it will all even out as we do in this community of atheist space.
Right on. So yeah, tell me a little bit. So you work on recovering from religion. Is that like the main project that you work on?
Yeah. So for those of you that are not familiar with recovering from religion, we are a 501c3 organization, and our mission statement is to offer hope, healing, and support to those of dealing with doubt and non-belief. And we do this in several different ways. So if you or someone you could be still in a pew and something is coming up that is just not jiving with you, you are even considering changing your religion, or you've been now for 30 years and you still think the devil's going to get you, wherever you are on that spectrum, or if you're an atheist but you're dealing with religious family members and how to have difficult conversations and getting those tools. What you do, you can go to our website, www.recoveringfromreligion.org. And there's 2 ways you can contact us. You can call our hotline, which is 1-844-I-DOUBT-IT. And also on the website, those are from, there are phone numbers like for Paul, who is in Russia, there's international numbers. And also on the other side of it, you can also do a live chat. So both on the hotline and in the live chat, if you just want to text instead of actually use your voice, whatever way you're more comfortable, or if you need privacy or wherever that is, you can even schedule a call for a time that's more convenient for you. There is a trained agent on the other line, and it's pretty much 24/7 now because we have international volunteers, and an agent will walk you through those questions and concerns that you're having. I like to call it street epistemology with emotional support and resources. And it's also, it helps getting people connected to a community. So, for example, we have an online community that you can join. An agent just has to vet you, make sure that you be a good fit for the online community before you're allowed in. Right. And I'm a former pagan and Catholic. Like you grew up evangelical Christianity, Brett?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You and I don't speak the same culture language. Right. From our backgrounds. Like we know that we both grew up in structures that were Christian based, but the way that is, and the traditions and beliefs and the way those things are going to be different. So you join an online community that has spoken your language, that knows that culture. And that feels really good because you can talk about the specific issues, concerns, and so forth, that other people that are from your background, like I don't speak Muslim, I don't speak Mormon, I speak Catholic and pagan, even though I'm exposed to a lot of people from different religions, through the work I've done through FR, I don't understand those particular cultures. So we offer that through the online community. There's two hangouts that happen each week with the online community via Zoom, where people just chit chat. Sometimes it turns into support group meeting, and we have support groups as well that you can join online or in person. But sometimes it's just a hangout to talk about Star Trek, Doctor Who, what's going on in people's lives, and finding that community that way. We have a support group nearly every day that you can find on our website and also on Meetup. So you just put in your city. Most of them are online. There are ones meeting in person, which is really great. It just depends on where you are. And we have support groups for LGBTQI plus people, for people that have lost someone to suicide, grief beyond belief. We have support groups for positive masculinity, empowered women, support. So if you need a specific type of support group and want to join those, and we also have regular support groups talking about, religious trauma, leaving religion, and those sort of things. And then coming up next, I'm so excited. We have our excursion coming up. We still have space. So if you are in the Charlottesville area, or you can drive or fly into the Charlottesville area it is going to start the weekend of the 27th. So it'll be the 27th to the 29th. And and we go to a campground, and basically what we do is it is a weekend of healing and celebration, and for agents and clients to get together. And we have support groups. We have talks. We're going to have a fireside sing-along with Shelley Siegel, where you know her music probably from the Atheist Experience. And on the hotline, if you call RFR and you're on hold. So
right. Yep.
We're going to have Dr. Ben is going to come and do a talk. And we're going to have some other, I think Dr. Ray's probably going to do one. Me and Gail are going to be me and Glenda Jordan, Gail Jordan's daughter, who is also a volunteer at RFR. We're going to be doing a ritual without religion thing to kick off the weekend. And so if you are going to attend this, I highly encourage that you bring an object that is safe to burn from your religious past, that as a symbol of you moving from a place of bad ideas and bad beliefs into becoming your own person. So we're doing that as part of a healing ceremony. So those are the things that we offer. So if you need that, contact RFR. Check out our podcast too. It's every Monday. You can join live. I help co-host sometimes. It's a good time. So we do all the things. So I can't just do a tagline because we do so much, and I want to get out there of all the things that we offer, because it's such a broad spectrum of things that people need, especially the community aspect. So
which is a huge, that's a big part of it. A lot of times, that's the main thing. It feels like you lose the most, I think, when you walk away from religion, is not having those groups of people to be able to hang out with and identify with. So that's awesome.
And this, from going to when you left religion, I did too, and then not only plugging to the atheist community online, but as soon as you go to a conference or an event or a talk where you recognize a bunch of people and they recognize you, and you get hugs, and you hang out and have some hangout time and joke around and have a bonding experience. It's so much more healing in a certain way than being online. Like at some point you and I have to be in the same room together. It's got to be a thing. You need to come to Free Flow.
No, I'm definitely going this year. Yeah.
Oh,
Or
it's going
next
great.
year,
Okay, you can hang out with me, John, the Gauss engineer, and Seth, and Flores is going to be so. Oh my god, so excited!
Oh, Forrest is going to be there
Sorry,
too.
I'm
Okay.
very excited because I'm going to be
Fuck
shelling for RFR, but still,
Nice.
it's going to be so much fun. I'm so happy.
Hell yeah. No,
Okay,
I'll be
sorry.
there.
Okay,
Yeah.
we can. I'm done now.
Oh, no, that's all right. Cool. No, thank you for breaking that down, because that
I'm
is
5.
like RFR is like one of the things that I try to tag, and almost I think I do it in every single episode. If you go to the
Yeah,
description,
you do, right?
of the
Yeah.
link. Yeah, I try to keep
Yeah,
that.
I really appreciate that. We really, really do.
Well, it's
And
important.
we've grown so much over the past few years, even since I started. We're adding more international resources. There was a branch that was started in Australia. It is by someone that lives in Australia, was formerly on the Western board, and now opened their has their own nonprofit, an extension of RFR, down under. So
Right.
like these efforts
cool.
are happening and they're needed. And I think that though we can talk about critical thinking and being a skeptic, and those are really important tools, but finding that emotional connection and finding community and finding support is also part of the journey. And how do you live a fulfilling life with people that love and care about you, and you love and care about them without belief? And I think those are finding that chosen family and friendships are really, really important.
Hell yeah. No, yeah, that is like I said, like one of the biggest parts of it, because that's like definitely a lot of us anyway. I guess there's some of us that are like introverts and whatnot, but most of us like need some kind of like interaction, with other humans.
Well, I think you're only introverted for so much, and then but then who do you talk about Lord of the Rings with?
Exactly.
Weird hobbies and things that you're into. Like eventually you're gonna want to even if it's just 1 to 2 people, talk about how religion is stupid, and how also your love for medieval cosplay. You need both.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. That's it. Yeah, right. Oh, that's all right. Shit. So we got what we got here is, I found this last second. We were looking for one. I had one up that was it was like people being born gay or whatever, but and Ray Comfort's response to that. It was some weird show. It was like it was like 11 years ago. And so it was just odd and awkward. And so I was just like, let me just set this aside and we'll take a look at a different one. And so I got this one. It's he disagreed with Jesus about homosexuality. Now they've started out not being anything about that at all. It's just about evolution all of a sudden. Let's take a look and see what they got going.
You know what? On Jesus not saying anything about homosexuality, Mark Driscoll, that mofo.
Oh,
do you know who Mark Driscoll is? That terrible person. Yeah. His response to that I read last night when I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning, just reading shit online because I couldn't fall asleep. He said, the reason why God didn't, or Jesus didn't say anything against homosexuality, because he agreed with what his followers were saying. And I'm like, that's a nice dodge, Mark. I'm like,
what? Wait,
nice
how
dodge.
does that work? Wait, so the reason Jesus didn't say anything
basically, Jesus didn't say anything about homosexuality, but because his followers didn't like it.
They already
don't like it. That God saw no reason to say anything, because it's you're not talking to me, so you agree with me kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, Mark. Okay.
There was no real pushback on everybody already hated gay people, in other words, and they're
right.
So he's
so
like, I'm
why
good
say anything on it? Because because if God really did like it, he would say something, because he's very talkative about all other stuff going on. He has so much to say.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jesus. He said
okay, Mark. Sorry, I
it.
just thought that was really funny as an apologist to kind of pull that out of their butts. Like, at least it's a terrible explanation, but I'm sure Ray is going to do a lot of mental gymnastics to get us to why why God hate that people with same genitals are bumping uglies. I'm sure that's going to be a very, very, very
Right.
important.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what even, because like as far as I understood, like you said, like Jesus didn't talk about it, so it's weird that he's even phrasing it the way that he's phrasing it here. I'm kind of curious as to what he's even going to be saying.
Yeah.
But so far we're talking about fucking evolution for some reason. I'm not sure why, but guess we'll get into it.
It's gonna take more time than you or I will have on this earth.
How long?
It can be, hundreds of thousands to millions, tens of millions of years.
So who's observed that?
Well, there's evidence in fossil records, and also
Oh, so it's not tested or observed.
It is observed through fossil evidence and things like that. I don't know. It's weird when they start to get to this, like, oh no, you have to like literally see it change in front of you. Otherwise that's not actual science or something, but that's not the way science works.
Which is the scientific method.
Right?
well, that's why it would be considered a theory, right?
Yeah, it's just a theory.
No.
There's nothing to back it up.
No, that's
No.
not what how scientific theory and scientific theory are two different definitions, sir. So, but okay.
Yeah, and the
Like,
dude should, and
and-
that's not what makes it a theory, though. Is the fact that it's like a theory is like the how it works, and the reason that it is a theory is because theory is as close to fact as you could possibly get while remaining scientific, because science doesn't have facts. They're very specific about that, because it always leaves room for being able to be updated, right? So it's like you don't
you can have facts.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And those facts will remain unchanged. They will just have new information to make more inferences about those facts.
Right.
That's how that works. Like evolution is a fact. Like it is a fact. But the more information, the more that evolutionary biologists study it, they are finding out, how life formed on the planet,
Right.
and what caused those change from environmental factors to why certain species succeeded, why others died out over time, why things are an advantage though, and why they survived, and even in modern time, like why in modern seeing animals evolve now. For example, elephants being born without tusks, male elephants,
Right.
because of poaching.
Right.
And that's an evolutionary advantage to keep the species alive, because the ones that didn't grow the tusk, they were able to pass on their genetics.
Right.
And that's happening now. So yes, it is happening now, Ray. You're just and also why don't they hold themselves to the same standard? Like, okay, we haven't like directly observed like dinosaurs becoming birds. Okay, cool. But why aren't we holding? You've never seen your God, so
Right.
why aren't you holding yourself to the same standard that we are? I don't it's very that you're trying to hold us to. I don't like the hypocrisy of that. It always really bothers me.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Like, oh, here's a good one. Ember said, "Hey, Ember, so laws are facts, theories are collections of fact. Collections of fact. Yeah, because I mean, well, you got like law, like you said, like the law of gravity. Like that is just like a repeatable thing that we see in nature. It happens the exact same way every single time. But the theory of gravity as to why it does what it does every single time, right? So it's like all of the explanation around why this thing happens the same way every single time, no matter what, right? And yeah, that's what I think like gets confusing sometimes, especially for stuff like this. And we do update our positions, based on new information all the time. And so they see that as a weakness. It's actually a strength, because that's how you can figure out if something is not working, and figure out how to do it better. It's not like religion ever came in and was like, hey, the reason that we figured out that this scientific, like that the earth that the sun doesn't go around the earth, but it's not because of religion that we figured that out. That's not, what I mean? It's because of more and fucking better science. So they, that's just the way everything goes right there. But it's just funny how it works. Hey, what's up? Let's see who won today. Let's Angier won. Yeah, it said first. Yep. How you doing, Angier?
Hi, Angier.
Well, if you second, hold on, you can't be second. You can't be and third. Wow, she's just all fucking. Okay. I don't think you
She's
get
3
how
and
this
1.
running works.
She's a trinity.
She's just all of them. Yeah. And then then HellsBells is second. All right. That's you. That's funny. And then Logan was for third. All right, cool. Hell yeah. No fair about Andrew. Yeah, she beat you. She got you this time, man. I know it's disappointing, but next time you got next time, right? It's just gonna happen that way. Who is it? Spicy Roads says Pope says any God is great. The Pope says any God is great. I don't think that's right. I think they have a very specific God that they think is great.
What?
And all the others are stupids that are not great. They're the opposite.
They're very. I mean, I don't know if the new Pope said that all gods are great as a form of trying to include,
trying to be nice,
all religions, but the Catholic Church specifically is all about the Jesus juice, and guilt,
and that's
guilt's a huge thing.
Well, it's wine that they pretend
and blood sacrifice and cannibalism. Very into it.
You gotta be cannibalism. Otherwise, it's just what are you doing religiously here?
That's important, and consume the flesh of your Savior to receive divine
in memory.
Divinity. What? I don't know.
What? Like who the fuck? And I always forget. He always says he's like, and make sure you do this in memory of me. I need y'all to pretend to eat me, otherwise you might forget that I was a person that you interacted with or something. Like this is fucking what, dude? What are you talking?
Maybe Jesus just really liked red wine and he really liked bread, and he was like, hey, every time that you have a little bread and you have some wine, I just want you to think of my memory. Right. I don't think he meant it literally. I think he meant it metaphorically. I don't think Jesus was like, you say some magic words and suddenly,
right.
This is suddenly blood and body. I don't think he definitely performed magic, but I don't think he actually thought his followers were actually eating him, because if it's that, it's fucking weird.
It is. I mean, the whole thing, right? I mean, the whole thing's weird, but I just to normalize it a little bit, be like, hey, anytime you do this, remember me.
And I don't know what the original translation was in the original Aramaic either. So
right,
there's that.
I was right. I always think to do it with plants, right? I always think like this. So if I died, right, and I passed away, I want everybody to every single time you see this, it's called yellow rain, and it's this tree that grows in Florida, and it's got these yellow flowers, and it just rains down all of these yellow petals, right?
Yeah, it's very
so
pretty.
I just think of me every time, because it's kind of like a golden shower. So you think of me as peeing on you through the tree from beyond. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. What it's like. So every time you see one of those, you be like, there's Brantley peeing on somebody. Oh, that Brantley. That's
I mean, every time I see a rainbow, I'm like, oh, God's letting you know he loves the gays. There you go.
Yeah, we're choosing not to think of him torturing the planet. Before the show's
over, I had to tell you my biggest story. They got offended by rainbows. So, yeah, I have to tell you that.
What happened?
I'll tell you a little later. Let's get back to the video.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is the appetizer. I'm giving you a teaser.
Gotcha. Okay, right. Hell yeah. I love it when people get offended by rainbows. All right, see who else we got here real quick. All right, we got Deep Stay. What's up, dude? Hello, Brantley. I did send a video suggestion to the PM. Fuck yeah. All right, cool. Now I will I'll pop that in the queue. I always love getting suggestions. It's fun to see what y'all come up with.
Wine and carbs are the best things. I agree.
Right. That's funny.
Jesus loved wine and carbs.
That's right. Very unhealthy. It's just lyrics here. What's up, dude? Logan.
Hey, you're getting fiber, and red wine's good for your heart.
It's yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah. Okay.
It's important. You gotta poop properly.
It's also yeah. I mean, it's technically also poison, so it's probably you could probably just get the good stuff from grape juice, but The poison probably kind of.
Yeah, but like as a
like
wine lover,
undoes.
like
Right, yeah.
like I
I
really
feel-
like it's making me. It makes like I'm putting poison in my body, but it makes me feel a little better.
You're like,
Like,
it's the healthiest poison
so why
we've got.
why you drink coffee, because it prevents gout. So
There you go. Right. That is it. That is what that does. And then we also got Alex, man, the full frontal exposure. What's up, dude? Doing all right? Hell yeah. Who else we got? Paul, you said we got Paul. All right. So we got also black holes. Wait, also black holes is a fact. Black holes evaporation and time dilation is a fact. Okay, I don't know about that. I thought you were going to say one is a theory and one is a fact. That's sort of what I thought we were going by with this whole thing. And then you just said they're both facts. So I don't know if you messed up or if I'm not understanding it right. Hey, Punk, man, what's up, dude? All right. Hey, we got a new member. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me get back to the video here. Oh, wait, we got Mr. Anti-Idiotic just showed up. All right, cool. Yeah, and the golden shower tree. See, Blood Patcher gets it. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Every time you see one of those, after I'm
now
done.
I'm like every time.
Not yet, but yeah, after
now
I'm
every
dead.
time I'm gonna see one of those fucking trees, Brent. I'm gonna be like, oh, Brent's
Brantley's peeing.
It's Brent's golden sour tree. Here we are.
That's it. That's what I want to be.
So it's gonna be now. It's in my brain. Now it's gonna live there rent free.
That's what Jesus was doing. Just an unfunny version of it. That's yeah.
Oh, Jesus was into blood play. That's what that is.
Oh yeah, no, he's especially kinky. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the serial killer kink.
Oh boy.
Don't be fooled into believing that Darwinian evolution has any scientific evidence to back it up. If you do believe that, you need to watch Evolution versus God. I went to four evolutionary scientists.
You got to watch one of my videos where I misunderstand everything. Yeah, but I act like I'm right.
At UCLA and USC and press them for any evidence to back up Darwinian evolution, and not one of them could produce evidence.
It's that one. It's this guy where he gets mad that he asked for. He's like, I gave you multiple evidence. He's like, I didn't ask for one evidence. He's like, I didn't ask for some evidence. I asked for one. He's like, so too much? I gave you too much evidence. Yeah, too much evidence. I don't want too much.
Well,
I want just one.
Yeah.
Just one.
What is that? Like,
you
give me too much evidence. Like, is that a problem? I didn't know that was a problem.
Right. Yeah. It makes me think that I don't think he knows what the word fucking evidence means. It means like things that make something evident, that make a claim evident. Right. And more would be better than less. I don't know if it's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's like, no, you want that, Ray.
Yeah.
Like,
she's in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah.
Helen's here with me. Yeah. We're like, she's right down the street.
we live in Santa's asshole.
That's right. That's fun.
Hated by evolutionist believers, someone in the know at YouTube didn't like it so much that they went through and blurred some of the images. But watch it anyway.
What?
Evolution versus God on a YouTube channel.
No, it's that's so funny. So he said that somebody on YouTube didn't like it so much that they went back and blurred the people in the video. No, idiot. You had to go and blur those people out because you lied to them about what your documentary was about. And then you ended up having to take their face out because you're a liar. That's why.
And that's the thing, like, if you actually have a really good argument, you don't need to edit people. You don't need to remove and I mean editing as in like not like you're trying to like trim the fat, but like I mean like editing so it just supports your perspective or make them look dishonest or make them look wrong.
Right.
That's
which is
not what you do if you have the truth on your side.
If you have the truth, you can go put up a fucking paper. You can do a peer-reviewed paper and actually like put it through. And if it holds up, if it scientifically holds up, it will make its way to the scholarship. But that's the problem, is their shit never can make it to scholarship because it's literally all bullshit, just trying to say that magic is reasonable because the evidence-based facts are just inconvenient to the magic they want to believe
and
in.
it's like,
Yep.
huh?
Exactly. Oh wait, this one's a good. Wait, where'd it go? Shit, I just had a good comment. There it is. Pandora's Pinata. How we doing today? I neither have the time nor the crayons to explain evolution to you, Ray. That's good. I like the crayons.
Yeah,
that's funny.
pretty
I gotta
much.
remember that.
Pretty much.
Spot the fuck on.
The thing is though, is that he has been doing this shit for years. He knows the arguments. Like, it's not like he's blind to the evolutionary arguments. He's gotten into debates with people about it. He's not like, he knows. He's just grifting because he this is his brand and this is how he makes his money. I mean, like, he's promoting other videos. He'll promote his books. He'll promote his DVDs and all his shit, because he's talking to an audience that already believes him. None of us are convinced because we think it sounds nutty nutso. So.
Right. And that, and you're right. That is exactly those are the only people that he is convincing to, are people that have already decided to believe him, and they just sort of strengthen. He makes them feel like they're actually they actually have pretty strong arguments. As long as, like you said, he deceptively edits everything and does his quick little word game.
Why would you be honest? Oh, maybe because your argument doesn't hold water.
It's insane half the time. The arguments are bizarrely stupid.
So on this note, last night I went to go see Bill Nye talk at the Sarasota Opera House, and he had. And awesome. If anybody do you know the shit that's going on with New College?
No,
that was taken over by DeSantis, and he got a bunch of conservative people on the board. Okay, there's I remember that. If anybody's really interested in what's going on with New College and the slow takeover of higher education that is starting in our state, I highly recommend Where There's a Woke podcast,
Wait, Where There's Woke?
They did a four-part series deep dive of what's happened in New College. And my friend Sarah is the head of the mental health department, has a PhD, and still works there. And they invited Mark Schallenberger, who was named in 2008 in an article of Time magazine, being a promoter of natural gas, nuclear energy, and also a champion for the environment. Now he's dabbling in conspiracy theory land. And he was invited by New College and Bill Nye. Now, guess who everybody was super excited to see? It was middle school students all the way up to, faculty and friends of New College. So there was a broad spectrum in the audience. Local high schools, other local colleges, all went to this talk. Mark Schallenberger now he dabbles in conspiracy theory land, and basically was saying, like, don't trust your government. And he used to be an existentialist, and now he's a Christian. So that's where this. Yeah. And he named Joe Rogan and Mark Zuckerberg, referred to Mark Zuckerberg being on Joe Rogan, talking about Hunter Biden's laptop on a story about how you don't want to trust the government. So he speaks conspiracy theory language, which is giving you a grain of truth and then circling around that with bullshit.
Right.
And you could see him on that territory. Like Bill Nye at the beginning of the talk literally said, used to be a very respected journalist and scientist. Now you're kind of become like a conspiracy theorist. He said this at the beginning of the talk.
Yeah. Jesus.
So this is the type of people that you're kind of dealing with Ray, is that you kind of don't know where the grift ends and the belief begins, and vice versa. And that's what it this kind of reminds me of, the way that Ray presents arguments. But the thing is, though, he doesn't even do conspiracy theory stuff, because everything he says is bullshit. He doesn't even have little grains of truth.
Right. Yeah. He's so far removed, but because conspiracy stuff gets really, it's difficult to deal with, because it requires so much specific knowledge on exactly the time, because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, when it comes to conspiracy beliefs like that, they're misunderstanding something basic, and then they're just continuing their thought process out, right? So it's like they're just missing the mark here, or they like get something completely wrong, and then just continue out that thought process with that thing mistaken in the past. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Larry,
and then
I
those
don't
pile up.
know. I don't know if it was recorded. I hope that it was. If it is, I'll give it to Brent and post it somewhere. Yeah, because I'll tell people where to go if I see it. I'll find out.
Okay.
I hope that it was, because it'd be really, really good. One, to see who new college is fighting for these Socratic talks, and two, just to see Bill Nye just talk about, being a scientist and critical thinking and how it's important, because the title of the talk, can science save the world? Yes.
Oh,
so,
cool.
so it was a really interesting. I highly recommend that. If it does, I hope it comes out, because it's very, very good.
Huh. No, that's cool. Yeah, I definitely would love to see that. Hell yeah. Well, let's see what we got here.
You respect Jesus?
Yeah, sure. I respect what he taught as a philosophy for the most part. Disagree with certain parts of it.
What do you disagree with?
Such as like standpoints on like homosexuality would be a big one.
Did Jesus talk about homosexuality?
I don't know necessarily if there's directly like things with Jesus talking about homosexuality, but
no, he didn't.
Okay,
but the Bible does. It says
now Jesus didn't, but the Bible does say that they deserve to be tortured to death or just killed with rocks. Yeah.
Is this: do not be deceived, neither fornicators, nor adulterers, nor thieves, nor homosexuals, nor idolaters will not inherit the kingdom of God. So if I love an adulterer or a thief or a fornicator, I've got to tell him he's not going to inherit God's kingdom. And just because someone's a homosexual, I'm not going to disqualify him from hearing that he can be saved from death and hell. Now, back to what Jesus said about evolution. He discounted it with
what?
Don't just sit there and nod at him.
I know that. I swear, like, hey, that's half of what he does is rely on people to be polite and then use that politeness to, against them. You know what I mean? Because they do. They'll just be like, okay, yeah. He'll be like, does that make sense? And it's like, fuck no. And they're like, yeah, I guess it makes. I'm like, oh my fucking God, what the fuck? Why would you say that that does not make sense? What are you doing? Like, drives me crazy.
There was a preacher. It was a documentary. I don't remember what documentary it was, but it was a leader of those metropolitan community churches, the gay church, and even she said, I don't think God has time to really think about what we're doing to our genitals. He goes, she's like, I don't really think, of all the things that we could be worrying about, not that.
Yeah, I don't think that should be one of them. That's for sure. Because my goodness, who gives a shit, dude? Like, that's like me getting mad that the dog doesn't have sex with another lady dog. Like, hey. That's a male dog. What are you doing, dog? Like, why would I fucking care about? I'm trying to say I'm a human, care about. But that's the way it would feel like for a God. Like, he'd be so much beyond anything we're doing. But he would get mad if we have sex the wrong way. Like, it's just so strange to me.
I don't understand.
It's just something that makes people uncomfortable. So crude people. And they wrote it down I think God would be against this because I feel kind of icky about it, the whole thing. Okay, because I'm not attracted to them, and they're doing their thing. Yeah, that's what it is.
It's kind of like Paul being the original incel. He's like, I can't get laid, so nobody can get laid. The only time you should get laid is if you're married, and that's only if you want to have children. That's it.
Right.
But he's like, nobody can get their dick wet because I can't.
Did he say that too? That it's you shouldn't only if you want to have children too?
Yeah, he was kind of extreme about it. He thought that the whole idea of sex was bad unless if you have he thought that you shouldn't. This is where the Catholic Church gets their celibacy shit from, because originally you could get married in the Catholic Church, but then there was a pope, I think, in the 14th or 15th century. It's been a while since this lesson, where he was basically, no, we're going to change it over to the priests have to be celibate. and they took the lesson from Paul, and basically they made the priests marry the church. And
Right.
this was also a formation of control, because it's a formation of control. Like, because if you
That is the
have
most control that you could have over
devotion to a wife and your children, you can't have 100 police devotion to the church and their political political influence over the fellowship in certain areas. So yeah.
Yeah, see, and it's funny. Right, yeah, exactly, right. And it's funny because like what I used to say back in the day was that that gay people or whatever, like when I was a Christian and everything, I'll say, I used to say that like gay people or whatever should just be like they're the type of people that Paul was talking about, where he was saying that like they shouldn't marry anybody or whatever, right? Like they should be like just they're the ones that are actually more. It's another one of those like they're actually more special than everybody else because they're so special that they shouldn't be distracted by women or any sexual or any marriage or any of that stuff, because their job is to just be fully dedicated to the church and to Jesus and all that type of stuff. And that's why God made them gay, was so that they would never get married and have kids and all that stuff. So it keeps them like, that was my whole fucking mental gymnastics around the subject.
So wouldn't God just make everybody asexual? Like,
right.
Which would make more sense. Like, you make them ace, like, instead of making them like gay, because you still want to fornicate. Like, it is like, it's not like, well, I'm gay now, and I guess I won't have sex with other people that want to have sex with me, because like I don't like that. Like that. Like it's a. I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just thinking like if this was some, like, if God really was doing this, I would be like, this is a really bad plan you got, man.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. And then also to write in the book, make sure that we need to say that they deserve death if they don't like only dedicate their lives to the church and everything.
Smash their heads against rocks if they're from a tribe I don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
And take their woman.
Yeah, because I mean, you're right. It's like so much easier for God to just make them not be sexually attracted to anybody at all, and those people do exist. So yeah, you're absolutely.
And then you could also just and I'm sorry, like if you really need people to procreate, which is a terrible system, by the way, to get people to worship you, but they do the thing that you don't want them to do. You could just make more people, because if you're magical.
Yeah, you can kind of do anything. It's okay.
You just, can't you just do clones?
Clones would be good. That would be I would go with clones.
That would be if I was a God that really needed people to worship me, because I'm all powerful and that's really important.
Exactly. Yeah. Tons of my hold on. Tons of my said documentary equals a pornographic history of the Muppets. That's is that a request?
I'm sure that's a thing.
Do we want to make that? Is that because I actually think we could get on, get everybody on board to make this happen.
You know what? The internet exists.
I know, right? Can AI?
I'm sure if you put in porn Muppets, there's shit. It is Rule 34. Yeah. It is the internet.
Absolutely. Right, a lot of cartoons probably.
Gonzo's doing weird shit with his nose.
That's right. He's down there, he's down in the trenches, as it were, if you will, per se. And if you want to play with something similar to a Gonzo nose, just go to adamandeve.com. That's right. Enter code word Brentley and check out. They have Gonzo noses that aren't attached to a puppet's face, so you can actually just use that yourself. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout. That's right. Got a special offer. I'm not going to go into the whole thing because, it's just it's all right. But
make sure you get a blue curved dildo, everybody.
That's right.
Your Gonzo sex
tickles the places you didn't even know you had. That's right. Jesus. Let's see what these guys.
I'm just intrigued. Like, people having weird sex with like the Muppet Show, like,
right?
The theme song in the back. Sorry, my brain is a dark place.
I know now that one stupid fucking movie ruined it for me, because now I know the Happy Time murders or whatever the fuck. where they're really coming everywhere and stuff, which was not a good movie. It just wasn't that good. But I was like, man, they just totally wasted this awesome concept. But
the one
a lot of
that
puppet
should
sex.
ruin it. The one that was more fun to get ruin it was Avenue Q, which is a wonderful musical. It is a great musical with Muppets and coming into adulthood. And one of the best songs is "The Internet Is for Porn," and everybody's a little bit racist. So it's great. I highly. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Like, if you have not seen Avenue Q, everybody, you need to go see Avenue Q. Like, it's on YouTube. It is. It will bring you joy. Just trust me.
I've absolutely heard the internet is just for porn, and that was like, I love this. I love this so much. I didn't. And it's a stage performance too, from what I understand, right? Like it's a stage show.
And it's very adorable and. Like it's an existentialist nightmare, but with puppets and songs, and it's adorable, and I highly recommend.
Fuck yeah, dude! Absolutely gonna check it out.
Right, let's go back to listen to.
Oh right. Just let me.
Bye, Ember.
Ember, see you, Ember. But yeah, tonight I will be on Ember's show, so come hang out on at better than Ember. Come hang out. It's gonna be fun. Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's see what this weirdo says.
I'll stop by.
Yeah. It's at 8 o'clock. I think it's 8 hour time.
I wasn't aware of it directly referencing it.
He said this. He said, in the beginning, God made them male and female. He didn't make them as one primate that sort of evolved into a male and female and then reproduced after their own kind.
What?
He said, no, God made man in his own image with the ability to reproduce.
What, dude? I don't understand how that that says anything. I mean, first of all, it's weird that he just always is like, but the Bible says something that says that the science isn't right. And it's like, so the fuck what, man? The Bible also says that a donkey had a debate with a guy and won. Like, we probably shouldn't elevate the words of the fucking Bible over the demonstrative evidence. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy to say that.
Sorry, I hit a button and it kicked me out.
Oh, so, that's all right.
I hit back and I didn't mean to hit back.
Okay, no problem. I got you. I've been there. Yeah, Deep State said, God is described in the Bible God as described in the Bible cannot exist. And if there is a God, he's or she or they is regardless of who takes relationship care of the pets. Yeah, I think I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, I don't care.
He's a very bad pet owner.
That point. Yeah, I mean, right. I think. Yeah, you know, he doesn't feed. He said you don't feed the dogs, right? They only get scraps or something. I don't know. I can't remember something he said about not feeding dogs.
No, they just get eaten in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, right. That's right. Well, they are the food. Yeah.
They are the food. Sorry.
God, that was. What did you like, real quick before we move on? What did you think?
I'm not going to get into debate talk, but that was just okay. That's my okay.
I was going to say, I haven't fully watched it yet.
You can't talk about cats and dogs. But now me thinking of Trump being fucking nuts, nutty nutso. So. Anyway, let's go back to hearing Great Comfort try to tell us why being queer is bad.
That's great. That's what we were doing. Yeah,
it'll be very compelling.
But
sure.
Also,
I'm
talking
sure I'll
about evolution. Yeah,
it's a good question. And by the way, feel free to leave any questions you may have in the comments.
Oh,
section.
I will.
Joshua asked,
"Why are you a bigot?"
I wanted to reach out, but there is a wide criticism about Ray Comfort, which is that his method does not work on everyone and that he's not discipling the people afterwards. I can't ask girls for their phone number, their email address, people I've just met, but I do give them literature about discipleship. So
what the fuck is this? So now this is the wonkiest video ever. It's like labeled, he disagreed with Jesus about homosexuality. That came up for half a second. Now we're on to some fucking tweets. Is this a tweet? That Ray Comfort's not good because he can't get out to everybody and he's defending.
Yeah, this is a comment, I think, in his video.
Oh, yeah. This is a YouTube comment.
And that he's not disciplining people afterwards. Now, it's not my personal belief, but I wish I would love to see a response from him soon. Okay, Monterrey, but there is a wide criticism about Ray Comfort, which is that his method does not work on everyone. Agreed. And that he's not disciplining the people afterwards. Why would he disciple? Oh, disciple. Is it discipling? I thought it was discipline.
Discipling. I know. I know. I saw it too. That was. It's our.
I was like, why would he discipline? Like,
because it's sort of spelled missing about 4 letters, but yeah, you got it. That's funny.
Well,
yeah, it's my like 60.
He only shows you what he wants in the context of the conversation. Either the people that agree with him, he really likes because, they're already, like, look, I talked to this person about sinning and like, oh, good. They agreed with me and now they're free from sin. I'm so awesome. And then, or it's the other one where people are like annoyed or they, even if they're from a different religion, or they push back, he'll criticize them in a very underhanded way. Try to gaslight and basically or completely dismiss them as sinners and fornicators and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, because his whole thing.
That's right.
Yeah, well, his whole thing is con man. It's literally a con game. It's like immediately his first mode. His first mode is to get you to doubt yourself, get you to feel like you can't think straight. The second thing is to overconfidently always act like he's got all the answers, and then he wants you to feel shame and guilt, and then he wants you to fear death. All while acting like his religion is so super obviously true. Yeah, it's just a con game, and it really only works to people that have an inclination to be afraid of the things that he is afraid of. You know what I mean? He can seriously speak to the fear in people that have the same kind of fears that he does, but everybody else is like, you're a fucking psycho. You know what I mean? But,
right.
It's funny.
Because he's a weirdo. He's a fucking weirdo. Like it's kind of like this thing, like even if he doesn't believe anymore, like let's say he just does this because it's the way he makes money, because it's the only way he knows how to make money. He's so deep in that, like, and he's in it, like it isn't in his 70s, like, or at least 60s.
Yeah.
Like, what's he gonna do?
He was in his 70s like 6 years ago or something. I think he's like 76.
Yeah, so he's an old boy.
Old.
He's an old
fucking
Pepe.
old. Yeah. It's still going hard too. Yeah, and you're right. His whole career is just selling books through his fucking bullshit. This video is just strange though. I'm not.
It's kind of
sort of all over the place.
I feel like he's avoiding the subject.
Right? Yeah. Oh, he loves doing that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We'll get
okay, let's see if it.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
We'll get back there.
It's a little booklet called Save Yourself Some Pain, and it talks about being disciplined as a Christian.
It's a very little booklet called Save Yourself Some Pain. It's a very tiny. It's about the size of a fingernail. Yeah.
And by the way, I can't take credit for this.
His lady smiled.
Learned it from Jesus, Mark 10, verse 17. The rich young ruler came running to Jesus and said, "Good master, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" And Jesus reproved his understanding of the word good, and then he used the 10 commandments to bring the knowledge of sin. So I got it off Jesus. But what most people don't...
You got off Jesus? Wow, that's hot. I would like to see that.
I mean, like, I'm not going to pretend, 14-year-old Helen, and discovering somebody's sexuality didn't get off to Jesus. I'm not going to see him. I looked at some very interesting medieval art in an art book that I had. So, I'm not gonna kink shame anybody.
No, but he was sexy, man, up on that cross.
He was like, he's very buff. Like,
oh yeah.
Like, I feel like Jesus didn't skip leg day.
Oh no. Yeah, no, he had that. Right. Yeah, he had that kind of just like rock star-esque, skinny but like tone. Yeah, no, he was hot.
Yeah,
he was hot. Absolutely.
Realize is that biblical evangelism is law to the proud and grace to the humble. When you see proud, arrogant, self-righteous people in Scripture, they're always given the law to humble them and bring the knowledge of sin, such as the rich young ruler. But when you see humble Jews, such as the devout Jews on the day of Pentecost, or Nicodemus come to Jesus, they were humble of heart, They were
What does
already
this
there.
have
They
to
were
do with
Jews that knew the law.
I don't know. Yeah, he's like, wow, man, this
There's
is
only
so
like a
now.
minute and a half left.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and he's going, so I guess this is him responding to the comment saying that
But that's a
his method or whatever.
video, man.
Yeah, why would you label it this? That I see. This is why I got to start watching the videos ahead of time. See, this is kind of my fault. I'm sorry.
I mean,
My God.
to be fair, like we are responding to stuff because we're very confused because don't understand what he's talking about. What does this have to do with the homosexuality, Ray? With your responding to somebody's comment on one of your videos? What the fuck does this have to do?
So,
oh my God, get an editor.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. And so the video was he disagreed with Jesus about homosexuality. And the response to that was Jesus never talked about homosexuality, but it is in the Bible. Anyway, now let me respond to shit that has nothing to do with anything. And that was it. That was like all that it was. So here, we'll move on.
Confused.
Yeah. We'll move on to this one over here. It's fucking weird, man. What is this music?
Not really accepted, but in my opinion, I think it should be, because obviously we live in a country where, we're supposed to have freedom. So I think it's equality for all. So we're all meant to, be accepted and, love whoever we want. No one has the right to judge us. So,
do you think people are born gay?
Okay, we'll get back to that one second. Sorry, Logan said, Ray is a prophet, not a prophet. That was good. That was funny. They spelled slightly different. Yeah. And one just means making money. That's all. That's all it is. Yeah, that was good.
Ray worships the god of capitalism.
Right, exactly. Yes. That's why he moved here to this country where there's no Christians in order to walk around spreading Christianity.
What? Yeah.
So stupid. He came from what was it? God, I always forget the country he comes from.
New Zealand.
New Zealand, thank you. And they have like
Christians, by the way.
Right, but like hardly any. Like if you were trying to spread Christianity, you'd probably want to stay there.
Yeah. Like you should stay where all the secular people are that you're trying to convert to your religion. Oh wait, people have critical thinking and your arguments are bullshit.
Yeah, because that's the thing. His style like requires people already believe something. He just thinks they're not dedicated enough. That's usually what his whole thing is. But Anarchic Fox. Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, Anarchic Fox said Ray's only marketable skills are grifting and publishing grifts. Yeah, that's about it. It's just the grift and doing the grifting.
And like here's the thing. What is Ray's standard of believing enough? Like, and I have a problem with this in like every religion. Like, how do you believe? How do you worship Jesus enough that other people are satisfied, and you're not shamed and judged, and like what is the line? Because for me it just seems to be on a whim and how much somebody likes you or not.
Right. Well, and because there's always this like there's always that person from church or whatever that was always trying to out Christian everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where they would be like, oh, I don't even listen to actual music. I only listen to worship music. So, maybe you should think about like not being a disgusting heathen and listening to secular music and try just listening to worship music like a true Christian. Like those fucking people. You know what I mean? And God, they were everywhere.
And then you go, okay, well, you don't like fun.
Holy shit. Yeah. My God. Because it's all just about like I'm a better one than you, and that's it. That's all they can't think outside of that shit. I feel like, and it's funny to me because I still see that shit, especially right now as we're approaching the election year. I notice there's like people that are like, I'm the leftist. And they're like, nah, I'm even against Kamala Harris because I'm so left. And she's okay with capitalism, tiny bit. So fucking fuck her. Fuck, she's as bad as the right. You're like, okay, you're a fucking idiot. Well, I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Like, this is the thing, like with us being like, this is when you have an ideology over humanity, is that when you don't like, because one thing, this is the thing, if you're in like a homogenous way of thinking, that you will eat, that people of other people on your side will eat, you will eat yourselves. Like
Right.
you have to, yes, people are problematic, and like with Kamala, there's some things I can criticize her for, but I'm still voting for her because
me
the
too,
majority of her values align with my values. Nobody's going to be 100% with you. It's
Right.
kind of impossible,
And
but you want to get as close as you can.
and then we want to push them left. That's the thing. They
Yeah.
think that we should never that we should just let the system burn down, that we'll take over with a fucking revolution, and then we'll set it up so that it's a socialist fucking utopia. And that's insane. I'm sorry. And
No, and
that's
honestly,
a point of privilege.
we kind of need, I hate to say this, everybody, we kind of need conservatives to keep us in check. We keep them in check, and they keep us in check, because we would do a Bellatrix Lestrange and burn everything down and build up from the ashes, but we can't do that. We need people to be like, hey, let's really consider changing this, and we need people that are not like us to hold us in check, so they can put a mirror to us, and we can put a mirror to them. You need both sides, but you don't need fascists.
Well, yeah, you need a good both
On
sides.
either, on either side, you don't need a fascist.
Right. And I feel like we've kind of gotten to the point now where it's kind of a mess where we're at, because like the right is talking about stuff that's so nonsensical, right? That is like usually what you're saying. Strong right is good for a strong right and a strong left are good, that negotiate together. The problem is we've deviated from that so much now that we don't have we have like a right that are all conspiracy nonsense. Like they're complaining about things that aren't happening, right? Like if they were just complaining about like us actually, or the politicians actually, like the problems with the actual politicians that are real, I'd agree, but they're like making up insane things now. So it's like, we've got,
and like the thing is, the reasonable Republicans that do exist, they're being drowned out by MAGA, cult followers and bootlickers, and that's I didn't mean to make this about politics, but this happens in from religion to politics to businesses to any sort of where you take on an ideology, but you don't keep that balance of your critical thinking and your humanity. You have to like I'm very progressive, I'm super left, but at the same time I can also see the problems within our own community, and I'm like, we gotta tone that down. Just spit.
Yeah, it's like you say, like
where you're saying like I won't vote for any politician because they're not 100% with me, and I'm like, listen, I understand this, but if we're going to eat ourselves if we keep
we're just
holding on to bad our ideas have to be 100% all the time.
Right. And that's just going to fail. Like, we're just going to fail. The right will take over, and the left will never get anywhere, because we can't just incrementally like push our way to the left like we need to, because it's not going to just shut down and then reset as a socialist. It's just that's not real. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just unreasonable. But it's the same kind of mentality.
Usually when that happens, there's a power vacuum.
Right. That's true. But it's like, I still think it's like the same kind of mentality of like, I'm more of X than you, right? And it's like this gatekeepy virtue signal, whatever kind of thing. And it's like what Christians do a lot of times. And then in political circles, that's what you get there too. I'm sure they have it on the right too. Is like, I'm more conservative than you, and have it, take it to like weird levels or whatever, of shaming each other for not being conservative. Yeah.
I'm so right that
I think maybe
I'm so right that I fell down the fascist type of life.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I said the N word, and I know YouTube gets all weird about calling a spade a spade. Other, not that word.
You did. Okay, we're gonna have to shut this stream down right now.
Please do not take that out of context.
I know I said the N-word, but whatever. Okay, everybody needs to relax. Okay, no, not that N-word. Pug Metal said, "I just want everyone to know that I'm more punk than Brantley, and well, I get you might be because you spelled it wrong, and that's pretty punk spelling stuff wrong. As my name doesn't have an E-Y, it's just L-Y at the end. But it's all right. Like I get, and no, you're not. You're punk metal." You're like half and half. You can't have metal in your name next to punk and think you're more punk. Like you're more metal than I don't know what I'm doing. All right, we're gonna say that.
I think the line is.
Yeah, I lost the thread. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
What's up? John said, the golden mean is a fantasy and one that also comes out of a privileged position. Thank you. I was going to say that too, because it's like a point of privilege to think that it can burn down and you'll be fine, right? Because you're obviously not thinking about all the people who that would affect to the point of never being able to make their life, build their life back up again because you would have burnt it down so badly.
Right. But, if you're already starting with nothing, you're just back at nothing.
Right. Yeah. You're just literally.
Or if you even have like a little bit of mobility, now you burned it down, and it's like, well, now I'm like, fuck.
Yeah. Now you're just homeless or whatever.
Like you got like everything has to be. This is why everything's shades of gray. There is no black and white, and everything is gray, muddled, and messy. But I like it that way because then it forces us to take our time, and not just go by our emotions and impulses to look at things in the long term. Because that's I like my impulse is to burn it all down. I get that feeling, but the higher reasoning comes in and goes, that would be that, Helen. Just because, and this is the thing, like if you think that you alone have all the best ideas. And you want to create society the way that you want to, which I think Ray would like to do. Going to lead to a lot. Then that's the key verse that you need to work on, because we all think that our own ideas are the best ideas. And if we were going to reshape society, we should shape that we would see it fit. But there's always going to be somebody that might be harmed. That you're not considering for the type of world that you want to create. So that's why you need other people to kind of keep everything kind of in balance. So you're not enforcing your will. That's what dictators do onto everybody else and think that because your idea is the best idea. And you think because that's what dictators do. They think that their ideas are the best ideas and they don't recognize their own hubris, that they don't recognize that, no, you need other people to keep you in check.
Right, because you don't know what it's like down boots on the ground type of practicality, like other people would be able to say where you're wrong and everything. Yeah, absolutely. And I've seen this a lot. You see this a lot in the business world where you have like the people in charge and they're like, we should just do this, cut this person or cut this job or whatever. And then you cut that job and the people down having to actually do like, well, now we can't produce the product now because they went and cut this job that they didn't think was necessary. But now we don't know what we're doing at all because of whatever we do. Like boots on the ground.
Look what happened to Twitter.
Yes, that's a perfect example. Yes, Twitter was a fucking mess. He fired a bunch of people, and they're like, "Oh no!"
We were supposed to be talking about homosexuality, and we started talking about the problems with like big systems and simple thinking. Here we are. Welcome to ADHD Punk Apostate.
That's what do you think people come here for? Right? They're coming here for not that. Hey, Angie Dell. Angie Dell 66. Fuck yeah. How you doing? You think you're new? You're new, right? I've never seen you before. You're new to me. But yeah, thanks for hanging. And Robin's here too. Cool. All right. Doom spell chat. Damn spell chat. Helen is rooting, and then Helen is roboting, and then damn spell check. So Helen's doing something. In other words, I think something's happening. And it's now we got it.
I mean, if I am rooting,
tip set. That's a tip set.
If I do root, I hope I'm a tree. I hope I become like a willow tree.
I did just get rooted. Actually, well, I got derooted. I got it taken out anyway. But yeah, shit hurt like motherfucker. Anyway,
Yes, it's not something that I guess you can develop into being or turn into being. You always kind of have that mindset or that curiosity, and that kind of, I guess, manifests in you, and then that does eventually come out. It's not something where you just see something and you automatically become gay. You just feel it on the inside, and when
So, are you
I wasn't listening at all. I'm just gonna make that clear. Here we go. Here.
gay?
yes, I am. Yes,
Were you born that way?
yes,
So you've always had desires for guys and not girls?
yes.
When did you begin to realize this?
I think when I was 3 years old.
3?
Yeah, it was really young. Like I didn't even like think about it. Like I was watching The Little Mermaid, and instead of having a crush on Ariel, I had a crush on Prince Eric.
And you were 3?
Yes, I remember that. It was really weird.
Are you a spiritual person?
Yes, I go to church every Sunday. I'm Catholic, so being raised under that roof, it was really hard.
You don't have Twitter, okay? Elon Musk has Twitter now, okay? That's the rest of us just use it. That's all. That's all there. But I don't know. I don't know what that was.
I can't use it. I didn't use it much when it wasn't owned by Elon. But I can't. It's too much for my brain, and two, like it's turned in such a right wing cesspool that I can't, because I know my emotional reaction will be like, somebody's on the internet. So I don't.
And do you know that I had been, so for years I had been streaming my show, this show I had been streaming to Twitter as well. You know, I can't do that anymore. Because, and I did it for years, and then all of a sudden it was just like, oh no, you can't, you got to do this thing. And I was like, oh fuck, okay, I'll go in and see like why it's not able to, maybe there's something wrong with StreamYard or what. Went in, no, you have to have a fucking check mark. I got to pay to fucking stream there now. I was like, oh my God, fuck this guy. Okay, then fine, fuck you. I'll stream to fucking Threads whenever they figure out how to let me do that. I don't know. I don't know if they, does anybody know if you can stream to Threads yet? Because I want to do it to Threads. I think that's the direction to go there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to use Twitter. That's what Andrew was saying.
This is the thing about Elon. Like I'm just gonna say one more thing before we go listen to Ray. Rate this poor person for being gay.
Good.
Like I will say that, like, because Elon is a narcissist, he keeps cutting off his nose to spite his face, and it's very, and like I kind of think it's really funny, but also at the same time I have to remember that there are people he has under his employment that are being harmed by his narcissism. So it's a mixed bag. Though I hate him. He's a garbage person.
Yeah. I mean, at the same time, they should, you just got to get a new job, man. Like, I don't know. I would
get out.
If I was working there,
go work for some other, like, go work for TikTok. Go find another internet.
There you go.
Company you can, social media company you can work for. Start your own Twitter.
Yeah. There you go. Be a business creator. That's it. Oh yeah. No, yeah, it's a mess.
Be a consultant.
Right. And I watch a lot of streamers, or I don't, let me rephrase. I keep a lot of streamers on in the fucking background while I do other stuff around the house. And so when, and I noticed that when Elon took over Twitter, all the streamers were like, this fucking trending doesn't even fucking work anymore. Like they're just like getting so like what the fuck is the fucking trend? The trending's just him. It's just, hey, I said a thing. I'm going to make that the trending thing right now. I'm going to make it take up all the, and he puts it out to every single user on there. And it's like, why the fuck are you coming up as what's trending? You're just forcing yourself to be, this is so pathetic. I'm like, oh God.
It's like a 12-year-old boy, like doing like a class clown routine. And then like everybody laughed. And it was like, well, yeah, because you had a captive audience. Like
you forced like, everybody. God, so stupid. Jeez, if he's even. No, he's an alien. I mean, I'd say no, he's too stupid to be an alien. I feel like aliens would be a little bit smarter. Thing. He's as awkward as an alien. I'll give
Unless you're like that bug alien from Men in Black. Like
right.
Yeah,
yeah, he's stuck inside this. Most of his problems are because he just can't fit in that fucking skin suit. That's his biggest problem. He's hitting the wrong buttons when he's trying to type
sugar
stuff,
to eat.
Exactly. That's why his brain's just freezing up when he's asked basic questions. Yeah. Jesus Christ. And then answers with a Princess Bride quote. Like that. Anyway, Jesus Christ. What a fucking weirdo.
Because my parents weren't as
You're
accepting.
not allowed to talk about the Princess Bride, Elon Musk.
No, I swear, yeah, I'm with that. That should get him in the most.
I have limits.
I have limits.
Okay, let's get it. Sorry.
No,
Let's get back to Ray being awful to gay people.
That's all right. That's a sort of background thing. That's all right. So we have
That's
something.
what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, no, that's the point though. Let's just get all over the place. That's fun.
Even though I went to
I did take my Adderall today. I don't know what's wrong.
You did? Oh, okay, good. No, me too. Yeah, we're good. I'm on there.
We're doing so good. Oh my God, imagine the stream if we weren't on Adderall.
Oh no, yeah, it'd be a mess. Well, I'd probably still be staring at the screen, being like, okay, I'm gonna start at some point. No, let me just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. Let me just sit and stare at the wall. Yeah, it's a nice wall.
Like, it was really hard for myself to
all right,
accept
we're gonna get back
because I knew what the Bible said.
So what does the Bible say?
That gays go to hell and that, they shouldn't be accepted and that we're just all going to burn in hell.
Now, you don't believe that?
No, I don't.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be gay.
Obviously. Well, I mean,
no.
I feel like I would still be.
Yeah, because you can't just decide to not be gay, man. Like, what the fuck? It's weird. He thinks so. If he thinks that if you believe that gay people go to hell, that you'll immediately just stop being gay. You'll just be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I gotta not be attracted to who I'm attracted to then. How the fuck does that even work, man? Like, that's confusing. Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I don't like. There's so much to unpack there. Anyway.
I know. Right. Well, and it kind of shows too that like so much of like his reasoning. Her face. Like his reasoning is so motivated by fear.
That's the face you should make when you get what says like, well, you wouldn't be gay. It's like, no, that's not how it works, man. They said they were attracted to men when they were 3 years old. Like, you don't know. Like, I remember as a queer person being attracted to, females and males. And when I was a young person, I didn't know what I wanted to do to them. Like, because you don't have that sex knowledge in your brain. You don't know what it is, but you're just like this. I find this, attractive, and I want to be close to this person, but I don't know what that is. That's because right. We have sexual attraction and things when we're children. We just don't know what it is, and then we go through puberty and we get an education and are like, oh, I want to do sexy things.
Exactly, the sexy
and like if he's and like Ray's straight, like I'm sure when he was a young lad back, in the 1800s, right. He had like attractions to people and to girls when he was like in kindergarten. He probably like did like wanted to kiss a girl when he was like in kindergarten or something, and didn't really understand like what he was attracted, what he wanted to do, but then he got a little older, and then he was like, "Oh, this isn't hard, Ray."
Right, and I almost wonder if I could flip it on him, honestly, and like that. What he just said there, I wonder if I could flip it and be like, "Okay, so you're telling me that if you found out that being straight, you were going to go to hell if you were straight, does that mean that you could just decide to not be attracted to women anymore? You could just decide that because you're like, oh, straight people go to hell, so I have to then be gay. Could you do that in your mind? Could you just decide to be gay out of fear? Right? No, of course fucking not. That's insane. You know what I mean? You can't just decide to be like that. That's crazy.
Look, I can't turn off who I'm attracted to. I can mitigate my behavior, but I can't. It's not like, and that's what happened. But that's what happens is that people get guilted into mitigating their behavior, and then get forced to go to like conversion therapy, which I think should be 100% illegal in this country. It is fucking terrible. And then you grow, and then you have trauma, and then you got to untangle all that shit, Ray. It's bad. It's very, very bad. Just because you can think that like, oh, you know what? Guess what? You know what? I really want a dick, but now I just want pussy. Like, no, that's not how this works.
Just gonna decide. Yeah, no, that isn't. What? Oh, Thomas, what's up, Thomas? So Thomas said, shout out to the union strike and blockade against Tesla in Sweden. Oh, good. There's a strike going. Oh yeah, good for them.
Yes. Go unions.
Fuck yeah, dude. And fuck Elon Musk. Yeah, absolutely.
Fuck that guy.
Yep.
But I think religion is different than spirituality. Spirituality is something that you feel with God, and that's your relationship with God. Religion is the passageway to help you get that spirituality.
Now, you said people are born gay. Do you think
Okay. I'm not going to pay attention to anything you just said, but
people are born adulterers?
Adulterers?
Yeah, with the desire to commit
so
adultery.
gross. They're just saying.
Why are you quitting cheating?
It's not the same thing, dude.
Like, why are you quitting? Because that's what I hear. I hear adulterer is cheater, not just like I had sex before marriage. Like adultery has, in legal terms, means that you are fucking somebody behind somebody else's back. That's what that means.
There's a dishonesty there.
Yeah, that the dishonesty, and it's like, no, Ray. People are born a baby.
Yeah. And no, I don't think people are born adulterous. Like, these are two completely different things. Because like you can be, you can like actually not want to you could be somebody that doesn't want to cheat on your wife, whatever, and you just get in a position where you change your mind or whatever in that moment, right? You like change your mind at the last second or whatever it is, right? Because it's not it's like a contractual thing. Like if once you do it, then it has been done. But being gay isn't something that you do and then has been done. It is something that you are. You know what I mean? It's not a contract. It's not like contractual.
It's like I have green eyes.
Yeah,
it's a part of who I am. It's the same. Right. It's like you. But the thing is, though, is like I have bad eyesight. So I wear glasses or contacts to correct my eyesight because, my eyes are green, but I need corrective lenses to see. Same when you're gay, for example, it is who you are. But you might wear a condom to protect yourself so you don't get, you don't get sick or whatever, out of safety. Like there's mitigating behaviors that you can do. Like being gay doesn't keep you from being an adulterer. It just like. You would like, because you can be in a committed relationship as a gay person and cheat on your partner. This is not.
It could be both.
Not the same, Ray. And also, reasons why people cheat is because in their core relationship something is wrong. Like either they're not connecting emotionally, sexually, whatever it is. Like it is because the core relationship usually has problems. People just don't wake up one day and like, in a happy relationship and be like, I'm gonna go cheat on my spouse. That is, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but it's such a dishonest, like equivocating of like these two, or just putting them both in the same bag as if they're the same thing. It's just absurd, patently.
Right, and that's disgusting. It's so disgusting.
Oh, you're like cutting out.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, sorry.
You're cutting out like now? Crazy. Yeah. Oh, there you go. You're back now. Say that again.
I'm sorry. I am on satellite, so my internet is booty.
You're on a satellite right now? Hey,
I am on
a
satellite.
From a satellite. That is wow.
I'm circle. Awesome. I'm in the TARDIS.
Right. That's funny.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah, live tiny, die never. That's right. Oh, that's a tardigrade.
Okay. Anyway, let's go. Okay, go ahead.
Same thing.
Um,
Are they born fornicators?
No,
With the desire
no,
to fornicate with girls?
I don't.
that depends.
I was. From the moment
You were born a fornicator. You were born somebody that wants to have sex specifically in a way that you think your God doesn't want you to. This is just so silly. I don't know. I don't.
So he's admitting that he was born wanting to have sex with girls. Okay. So he
Okay.
is admitting that sexuality is something that you are.
Right. So, but see, this is his whole thing, though, is he's saying that he's going to reject everything that he wants to do 100%, and then is like, got to repent, and then only
Isn't he
do what
married?
he thinks his God wants. Yeah, yeah. But I mean, he's saying he wants to fornicate, so he's saying he wants to have sex with everybody all the time, I guess. Which, okay.
Fine. Okay. That's. I mean, I'm not judging. Like, if that's like, you're just, as long as you're not hurting anybody, I don't really fucking care, right?
Yeah, I'll give a shit.
Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, your sexual hangups and likes are your sexual hangups and likes. That might be not my problem.
Right. Yeah, I think it's just that his whole thing is you just got to reject everything that you want anyway. So that's like the angle I'm sure he's going to use, So we all want to do bad stuff all the time because we're all just broken and evil, and there is no good person at all, even.
At all. There's no good people. We're all just fornicators and liars and stealers, and we're all just really, really bad.
Yeah. Which I always wonder about that, because doesn't that, and I don't know, there's just like, it almost reminds me of like the, every kid is special. You know how people say that? Like, oh, well, every kid is special, right? What meaning like every kid stands out from all the other kids. And I'm like, if every kid is special, then no kid is special, because the word special requires that they be, different than the rest or whatever in some kind of
I prefer that you're a special little snowflake, just like everybody else.
There you go. Right. There you go.
Because you are a snowflake. But everybody's different. You're a part of you are different, but you're also part of the collective.
Right. But doesn't that so that's what I'm saying. It kind of nullifies that term, right? Because like if everybody's bad, then if everybody's bad, then there's really no such thing as bad. It's just everything. You know what I mean? Like there is no distinction then between bad and not bad, because everything's bad.
And he doesn't understand like how descriptive words work. Like there is like we call acts evil. Like there's no like devil that is like a pure embodiment of evilness that is making us do evil things. We just call an act evil. Like we call essay evil because it is. We call that act evil because it causes harm to somebody else. And so we were like, hey, that's fucked up. That's kind of but if you're a person that steps in and prevents someone from experiencing SA, then you're like, oh, that's a good person. Regardless if that person, like, let's say they're a butthead, but we call the act good. Like that person stepped in and prevented that, even though like themselves might be a butthead. We know how to do these distinctions, Ray.
Right. Well, and we have because the bad, like that would be bad for a very specific reason, right? Like it's bad because it's harmful, right? He doesn't have that. There is no such thing. It doesn't matter if it's harmful or not. Like it's just everything is bad, right? Just looking at a woman with lust is just as evil as killing somebody. Well, I mean, with having sex with, but like, but still,
like
it's
all crimes?
Right.
Like
it just puts
crimes.
everybody on equal level. Yeah. And it makes it so that nothing really matters. There is like behavior.
Like that's the thing. And like when I started questioning one of the major, I was like, I don't understand how sex and before marriage and murder are on the same playing field. Like I just don't understand that. Like because this is a good time. Like this is a good time. This is harming and destroying not only the person's life that you're taking, but everybody that loved and cared about them. You destroy a life. And it has a ripple effect, and it even goes out into society. Like this is bad. It's bad. Me getting my freak on, even with him, being a married person because I'm poly.
Right.
How is this the same, Ray? Explain to me. I think that's the whole thing of this. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I get a little long-winded.
Cool. It's just a method to get be able to shame everybody, because they get through fear and shame is how he manipulates you into you into his religion. So this is just a way to broaden it to everybody, because everybody's looked with lust before. Everybody's told a little lie. Everybody's stolen something small when they were a kid. He has to broaden it to make every single person a bad person, and then internalize that being that bad person. So then he can sell you the cure for the shame and guilt he just caused. That's his whole thing. That's what all religion does. It's like they're trying to make you feel bad about yourself so that you can come to them for the cure, right? It's a con man game, right? But most people aren't bad. Most people aren't out hurting people and shit, right? So they have to do some way to figure out to get everybody to be bad. It's just
right. I don't see the equivalent of someone stealing a PS5 from Walmart, on the same level as someone breaking into somebody's house and stealing their PS5. There's two different things we're talking about, man. I don't I don't think they're the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same type of harm that you're doing,
Right.
Okay, it's harm to a corporation. Okay, well, fuck them. But going to somebody's house and taking their property, which causes them to feel unsafe and to feel trauma, that's different, right? And you have to understand these nuances, but he doesn't think that way.
It's super black and white, super just absolutist. It just doesn't matter if anything affects anybody else. It's just, if it's bad, it's just bad because of what he thinks his God wants.
It's only God. It's only if it's offensive to God.
Right. Specifically his interpretation of,
because that's normal.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
And it's just to include everybody. Oh, that's funny.
Remember,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, I'm just saying, every time we do one of these, it's just the I know we were talking about gay shit, but the thing is though, his way of thinking is distorted because it has to be black and white. And then when people try to bring up issues with that black and white thinking, he has to do some apologetic bullshit to make it fit. And it's just no, and he talks out of both sides of his mouth, and it's just stop, right? Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and because and here's the thing, our brain, our brains are trying to save energy all the time, which is why we put things in simple terms in our brain and make things all black and white, absolutist, whatever. It's easier for our brain to handle because of all that nuances, all those complexities, and we could drive ourselves crazy always thinking of all the nuances and everything like that. So our brains do this thing where they just sort of oversimplify, right? And then you can put that down into the oversimplified bag, and that's good and bad stuff like that. And it was an evolutionary trait, I think, to make things easier for us so that we could we could actually think about more stuff and just sort of move past some of these big questions that are more difficult to think about. But when it comes to stuff like this, you do have to break out the nuance, and you have to be able to accept in your mind that there is nuance, and we can't just be absolutist and just black and white about everything. It's even though it makes things simpler and a lot of us do it, but it's one of those things that you have to guard against too, and be am I oversimplifying everything? Because our brains just naturally do it. It's just Ray takes that to a whole nother fucking level.
Yeah. and yeah.
Right on. It's Banana tonight. Yeah. Hey, what's up, dude? Dave said, Ray, Banana Man Comfort. Banana is designed perfectly about eating it. About eating it. I love that video. I actually have that as one of the custom emojis where he's doing this with the fucking banana.
I know.
It's sticking in it. I'm oh, that's my favorite. Yeah, that's one of our custom emojis.
it's like so sexual undertones that I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, I feel like there should be porn music behind this.
For real.
And Kirk Cameron is just like smiling away, like, huh?
I know. He's just, yeah,
So
he is
great.
just, wow. Could not. Oh my God. So funny. But, well, hey, thank you so much for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. Appreciate it.
Okay, so I have to tell my biggest story before I go.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I have to tell my okay. So before I have to tell the story. So Thursday I went to get my haircut and I was driving home and I stopped at a Walgreens that's not far from my house to pick up a couple things. And this guy pulled into the parking lot beside me, and I have a couple, like I have an Atheist for Equality sticker on the back of my car. I have some feminist bumper stickers, and I have Equality Florida bumper sticker that says "Not Going Anywhere" and has rainbows on it. And everybody, this is how this whole thing started. Okay, so I get in my car, and this guy comes out, and he says, he goes, "Ma'am," and I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "You know, I know that you have these rainbow stickers on your car, but I think that you're pushing your agenda onto the kids." And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
Huh? I
What
said,
kids? No.
so, and he said to me that I said, wait, I was like, you're offended by the rainbow stickers on my car, and you felt the need to come and talk to me about that. Okay, sure. And then he says, and I said, okay, I go, well, the reason why we do this is because it's not normalized. And I go, and he's like, well, I wouldn't mind it so much if you was like private and not pushing it at people's faces. And I'm like, so you don't want us to exist? That's what you're saying. You don't want us to exist in society. And he goes, no, that's not what I'm saying. It's just that you have your pride parades and you wave it around and where kids can see it. And I'm like, again, you don't want us to exist in society. And then he says to me, well, you know, it's also offensive to God. And I kind of like, I think he saw me kind of roll my eye or something, because he goes, what, you don't believe in God? I go, no. He's like, where do you think people come from? Evolution? I go, yes. And then he goes, and then he says, well, he goes, so you believe something comes from nothing? And I'm like, dude, I don't have time to get into an evolutionary debate with you. I go, you literally I don't believe in God.
Did the Ray Comfort with you?
And he goes, are you, so you're one of those, so you're, yeah, oh yeah. And he goes, so you're queer? I go, yeah. I go, I am. And then I mentioned that I have a child I have one child that is queer, and I have one that's not. And he goes, of course you do. Of course you have a queer child. And he was like acting all offended. And I was like, dude, I'm done. I'm not talking anymore. And I flipped him off. I called him a fucking bigot. And he drove away. He specifically followed me into the parking lot to tell me.
What? Really?
He's offended by rainbows.
Oh my God. That's See, that's exactly why I don't like. I had I put a bunch of stickers on my car too just recently, all like, you know, like punk rock stickers. And I had one that was a Bad Religion sticker, and Bad Religion, you know, has the cross circled and crossed out. And I was like, no, I'm not putting that on my car. Like, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to be here in Florida with a fucking anti-Christian crossbuster Bad Religion sticker. So I just got the one. I was like, I just bought another one. It just had Bad Religion, just the name. But yeah, because I don't know. I know that's going to happen so often.
I'm obnoxiously queer right now. Yeah, well, it didn't happen so much, but now that I moved south to Port Charlotte, like it's a little more rednecky here. So
yeah,
it's interesting. But like the way I'm looking at it too is that like, because I everywhere I go is pretty public, so I'm not really concerned like about my safety too much.
That's good.
But also too, because it's so contentious, it's one of those things I'm kind of signaling to those kids that live with someone like their father, that guy. because he told me he has children. That there are safe people out there, and that I'm with you. Like, I don't know you and you don't know me, but I'm showing you that I'm going to be out because you can't, because you live with an asshole.
Right.
You know, and I think
that there are
even that
people.
little bit of and that either like you're a safe person and it's okay, and that we're not going anywhere. We won't be intimidated. And I have that privilege. I know a lot of people don't, or they're too scared, and I get that. And so I don't do it lightly, because I knew, like, because basically I call him the fucking bigot to his face, because that's what he is. And then he starts shouting at me like, read your Bible. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know what he was expecting. I was like, you know what, I am in my 40s, and I have been queer since I was a small child, but now that you came and confronted me in a Walgreens parking lot on a day that I just want to go home and have dinner and chill out, what do you think, me to bend my knees and be like, I repent, thank you for telling me that rainbows are offensive?
Gonna rip them all off my car right this second. Thank you, sir. I hadn't thought of it that way. What the fuck? It's like, Jesus, that was so funny.
And at one point, I had to mention, like, I meant this, like, he said to me, he's like, well, I have a dick and I like to fuck pussy. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, gross. Like, you're saying this to a complete stranger.
That's so weird.
And I'm like,
Jesus.
It's so weird. Like, so he finds queer people just wanting to exist and not treated like, you know, we're gross. One thing, but he finds that offensive, but he doesn't see anything about offending me by using slang words with a stranger he does not know, a woman, and just be like, I'm going to talk about how I like to fuck pussy. It's like, dude, like, what are you doing?
Right. Completely so unself-aware, dude. Like, that's okay. And they're talking about, like, were there kids walking by? Because holy fucking shit, man. Like, how come that's like, you're in a public space talking about dicks and pussy, but like, you know, but a rainbow fucking sticker, that's just beyond the goddamn pale. Jesus Christ. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, so I'm just talking about, like, because like we've seen these people online, you're just kind of like, oh, but when you're like confronted by one, it's a little, and like, for me to be offended by it, he would have had to say something to me that I would find offensive or hurtful, and I didn't. I found the dick thing a little weird, because I'm just like, you can't just say these things, man. Like, no. And like, you just can't, but you feel like you can to me because you think on a certain level that I'm a pervert, and I actually find what you just said offensive to me. Yeah. Like, you're just talking about your genitals and equating like what we want, which is equality, and like not have legislation taken away from us, and not healthcare, and not a place in society, and people taking away our rights to get married and live the lives that we want to. Like, that's different, man.
Yeah, nobody's
totally different.
It's crazy too that you have to sit there and say that. They're like, because what they want is everybody to hide and pretend to be straight when they're out in public. That's what they want. You know, if everybody wouldn't just hide in the shadows from the conservatives that are allowed to be out and proud for every fucking thing they think. But if you're, you know, a queer person that happens to be in love with somebody of the same gender or whatever, you need to not kiss them in public, because one of those out and proud, loud conservatives might have kids that might see you kiss your partner in public. And so that's not allowed. Hell, yeah, it's just this. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. You're the one that needs to
like a straight cis man and show any sort of like affection towards your other male friends. You can't even like hug them in public or anything like, or even like, girls will hug each other and hold hands. Like, men can't do that because of toxic masculinity and these bad ideas that showing affection between men is wrong. And because everybody's like super fucking sensitive about it. And I'm like, that's a you problem. That is not a me problem. That is a you problem. Yeah. And the fact that these, like, so this is, I'm also telling this story because yes, we're doing, like, you know, the struggle's real. And we have made progress, but like, when people confront you, just call them a bigot to their face. Just do it.
Yeah,
Let's call him a
it's
fucking
like,
bigot. It felt so good. I was like, you're a fucking bigot. I flipped him off. It was the best feeling. And then there was a Walgreens employee that heard our exchange, and because she was getting cards, and she's like, good for you for yelling at that man. And I was like, thank you.
Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah, they don't understand that they're just.
So you don't
trying
always
to
have to
make
be
it work.
polite. You can just tell a bigot they're a bigot.
See, I mean, honestly, that at this point, it's hard to like. It's hard to take people seriously in those kinds of conversations. I can't really treat their positions as if they are deserving respect when they are like that. You know what I mean? You might as well just be a flat earther for me. Like, I'm just like, that's how fucking stupid I think those.
Well, and
positions
like,
are.
here's the thing too. Even if being queer, being gay or queer was a choice, that still doesn't give anyone the right to take away their ability to live in society the way that they want to, even if it was, because
Right.
it doesn't hurt anybody. Like, as long as everybody's consenting adults, who fucking cares?
Right. Yeah, exactly. I always try to, and I'm glad you made that point, because that is something I think a lot of us forget. Like, it's okay to shame people if they make a choice for that, but not if there's not a choice. It's like, it shouldn't fucking matter. Whether it's a choice or not is completely irrelevant. We're talking about human rights here, and people should have the right to be able to choose who they want to love and be with. Whether it's a choice or not, it doesn't fucking matter. It just makes it almost all the more worse and gross when we kind of know that it actually isn't a choice and they're still trying to take it away from people, right? So it just kind of takes it to that next level of nastiness. But yeah, it doesn't fucking matter, right? Whether it's natural or not.
Doesn't matter. It's like, I don't go around like telling people Jesus fish on their card that I find that offensive. I kind of do, because I'm like, oh god, you're probably promoting some really bad ideas. But I'm not following them into Walgreens parking lots and yelling at them.
No. Yeah, we don't show up to their churches. That's what I always think of.
Because you have the right to live your life the way you want to. I don't have to agree with you, but again, that's why I do activism, because then I can talk about this stuff and not actually have to stop people in parking lots and yell at them. I can just go online. And do the that's why me and Brentley do the work that we do, because we're trying to help people, and by humor, like, you do it through humor, I do it through emotional support, like and I do it through humor too, but like, we're trying to tell people it's okay not to believe. It's fine. You're gonna find community, you're gonna find acceptance. It's okay. It's fine.
Exactly. Right.
You know, it's okay to question. You should. And I think that's why we do what we do.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I know we went a little bit over, but I really wanted to talk about that.
No, I appreciate that. No, that was awesome.
I said I'm done.
I am really glad I heard that, though. I'm glad you said that story. That's cool. It's always it is always fun to hear about when we can flick off a bigot. To be honest, like, that's I love it.
Yeah, but, it was a very good feeling. It happened on Thursday and it's Sunday, and I'm still riding that high.
Still riding that flick off the bigot high. Yep, I get it. Oh, I've got stuff I gotta do soon here. So, but thank you so much for hanging out and coming on. What's up?
Yeah, this is, as usual, a wonderful ADHD episode of the Punk Apostate.
Right. Hey, they all
great.
are.
I will be. We're gonna have you on RFRX, and I'll see what you and Ember are up to later tonight. So
sweet. Yeah. Like Helen said, check out Ember's show tonight at Better Than Ember. Check out their show. I'm gonna be going on and hanging out. It's gonna be a lot of fun in a couple hours, just a few hours here. So, thanks again, Helen. So, and just one more time, real quick, to tell everybody where they can find you at. Yeah, but so you're on RFR, right? X at Recovering from Religion, right?
Yep.
On YouTube.
Yeah, so you can find me at Recovering from Religion. If you want to get in touch with me directly, you can email me at helen@recoveringfromreligion.org. If you just put my name, either my tag HellsBells or Helen Green, into the YouTube machine, I will come up. Also, I'm doing volunteer work, and I do some shows over at Skeptic Haven. And I'm also and I do a TikTok through the ACA every Tuesday night where I go live and talk about what people believe in and why, and have long-term conversations as long as my internet is nice to me.
Nice. So. Oh, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I didn't even know about that one. That's great. Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Hey, thank y'all so much, and thanks everybody.
Yeah, I'm everywhere. I like being everywhere. Spread my seed, I guess.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and but
bye everybody.
And take it easy, y'all. Thank you again so much for hanging out. And there's a lot of different ways you can support the show. If you do so, please, and they're all right here, and they'll be in the description. So, but the main thing is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate. And we will see you next time.